Good afternoon, judges, sponsors, visitors, and my fellow students. My name is Keren from School of Tomorrow, Kenya, and I'll be presenting a dramatic monologue entitled The Alabaster Box. May it minister to you all. It was unbelievable. Just like that, my sins were forgiven. No one on earth could offer me that. He accepted me just as I was. I was amazed. You would have been too if you knew the kind of woman I was. All I had ever received was rejection. I mean, I was looking for acceptance, but in all the wrong places. And from all those men whom I sought love from, they never valued me. They endlessly went on about how filthy and useless I was, let alone those women who were constantly laughing at me and mocking me, saying, "There goes the good for nothing, the husband snatcher. Did you hear? She was at it again last night." They never considered my humanity. I was more like an animal to all of them, except for that one man. It started out like any other day. I was going about my usual Friday business. Friday was the only day I got out of the house before nighttime. Reason being, Friday was the market day. As I was shopping and eavesdropping into the women's endless gossip, which I found highly amusing, by the way, I heard rumors that Jesus was at Simon's house. My heart suddenly got excited. I wanted to meet this Jesus man. I had heard so much about him, and for some reason, something in me said I had to go meet him. Perhaps he would accept me for who I was. Perhaps he would love me in spite of who I was. I dropped all I had, ran to my house, and grabbed my most prized possession, my alabaster box. I had made up my mind to give him my all. I hastily made my way to Simon's house, and in no time, I had arrived. I had a mild commotion coming from one of the rooms. That must be where he is, I thought to myself. And without another thought, I entered the room. There was sudden silence as I made my way to Jesus. I nearly fell, blinded by my tears. The pain I was in was indescribable, as I had mad whispers and rude murmurs. "There's no place here for her kind." On and on I went, till at last I knelt before his feet. I reached out to touch his feet, and he did not even flinch. I suddenly had an overwhelming sense of love, for I knew I had found my maker. I wept, and the tears ran down my face and onto his feet. I couldn't stop crying. I felt so remorseful for my shameful past. The well of tears made his feet so wet I had to dry them. I had nothing worthy to use, so I used my hair to dry his feet. I then went ahead to break open my precious alabaster box and poured the perfume onto the master's feet. Even without words, my actions were clear as I poured my love to the master. All around me was deadly still. I waited for the axe of condemnation to fall. However, the quiet continued. I guess the people were shocked numb, or no one knew how to rebuke their master for allowing someone like me to touch him. I stood up meekly with trembling and fear, awaiting my fate. I could see from the sea of faces surrounding me that they just did not get it. But you see, I had it. I was tired of all the rejection and abuse, the life of bondage with no meaning. After all, I had nothing left to lose. I was like a dead woman walking, dead on the inside. Then the master spoke, but he wasn't addressing me. He spoke to the owner of the house in a parable and praised what I had done. I could see the face of the Pharisee hanging low in shame as the master concluded thus: "To him is forgiven little, so the same beloved little." I guess he meant that the owner of the house loved him little, and I loved him more. But the best part was to come next. Jesus turned to me and said, "Thy sins are forgiven." I had never had such words before, such freeing words. I suddenly felt like all my chains had been broken. All the bondage I was in was now no more. I couldn't help but jump up and down rejoicing. No words had ever mattered this much to me. I suddenly didn't need acceptance from anyone else. I had been redeemed. No longer a woman of ill repute. I am changed. A new creation through Christ. Oh, happy day. And so, here am I. Here am I. I now live a new life. The old is gone, the new has come. And so, what started out like an ordinary day became the greatest day of my life. The beginning of a new chapter. And now, I have no use for alabaster boxes. Instead, I daily pour my love to the Master.